Alrighty guys, welcome back. So we're gonna pick up right where we left off on the second video. The last one, the first video, a recap. We covered creating the base map and getting the car to idle. In the second one, we did some drivability and cruising, and in this one, we're going to touch up cruising a bit, but we're mainly going to be doing the wide open throttle tuning. And before that, since it's another day and the engine is cold now, we're actually going to do a cold start. Well, it's a bit warm outside, but we're going to do a cold start and then we'll go straight into wide open throttle tuning. Right? So sit back and enjoy. Okay, so it's not as cold out. It's about 2 o'clock, 1:50 actually, and it's 30 degrees Celsius out, so it's a bit warm. We're in the tropics, so I'm going to start a data log, and I'm going to just start it up. Just basically starting the data log in case something funny happens. I want to capture it on the log. I will do the whole warm-up process, and then we'll go out and do the wide open throttle. Let's go ahead and save it as today's date, and we're going to crank. Okay, so this time it started off a lot better than the last time around. So it starts off pretty rich, about 12.5. We have after start enrichment on, so that went off, and we have about 13.6, give or take. We're just gonna monitor that as it warms up. We generally go for anything about half a air fuel ratio point from the actual target for idle. Anything about a 14.0 when it's really cold, all the way up to like a 14.2, which is the target when it's fully warm. So for now, it's looking okay. We just add a little bit. Right here in this spot, gonna add about 2%. A little bit more. So it's averaging about a 14.5, 14.7, give or take. So it's a bit on the lean side, but it's okay to start off with. Okay, so we're on my closed section of road and we're going to just be doing some wide open throttle tuning. So essentially, we're going to be aiming for about this section. Roughly, I think red line on this guy is about 7,000, if I recall correctly. Maybe a bit less, but 66 to 68. So we're pretty much going to be doing this portion. The way I choose to do this is you can use auto tune, but I generally don't trust auto tune for my wide open throttle tuning. I generally find it takes too long because you have to stay in the cells a good bit of time before you can actually make some corrections. So what I'm going to do is just use some logs. So what I will do is when I'm about to do my pulls, I simply go into here, data logs, start log, and you hit enter. But before that, you can name the log whatever you want. You can keep it as the current date and time. This is what it uses by default. So you save that in whatever location, and then when that's open, you just go into MegalogViewer, which is another piece of software, and your log will show up like this. You can set up whatever channels you want to data log here, but for me, Generally just RPM in white, TPS in red, map in green, that's in kPa, and on the second table here we have lambda. I'm going to be using lambda because, like I said, it's a lot easier to use lambda than FEL ratio, and I'll show you why in a little while. And lambda target here in yellow. So I'm going to do the log, then I'm going to go into here and then adjust it. From there, you'll be making your changes here in the fuel table. So from here, by default, when you first open MegalogViewer, this will be empty. You simply open tune, and wherever you have your tune saved, your current file, it will be referencing that. So you open that up in there. So you'll have a visual representation of as you drive. Get this for you. It will just basically show you where exactly in your map we're actually hitting. You can see this little circle thingy here moving around. So I'll basically go into here and then manually adjust my FEL ratios or my VE table to get my FEL ratios where I need it. So I'm going to do a quick demonstration of that. Obviously, I hope to do this in about maybe under 5 pulls, maybe, in case I get everything correct. But again, this is real. The real world, it almost never goes so smoothly and so quickly. So I'll give you the demonstration and then we'll just fast forward to the finished product when I'm done. Okay, I'm gonna close this since whenever I have a couple apps open, it just slows down the screen recorder and my voice goes all roboty. So just gonna close this down. But before that, you could have just gone into, where do I have it? Okay. Could have just hit Alt and V and that would open up your last data log. But we're gonna do this the long way. Alrighty, so I have the log open, and again, I'm going to look at the top here. So basically going to go into here and just be adjusting my FUL ratio target. So again, so in here, we started off, this is roughly, let's try to get the RPM where we wanted. So we're going to start off about 2000 RPM, which is there. So you can essentially see the car was about 96, 97 kPa. So it would help if we had this area of the map already dialed, but we can throw some numbers in there. For the bottom section, the 80 kPa row, I will basically be doing the 90 and the 100. Alrighty, so we started off around 2000, and we can see we roughly, see if my maths, that'll be one. See, we're roughly about 12% to reach in the 2000 range. So you just go in here. So it's just a simple, right here we have lambda. Lambda target was 0.89 and we're actually richer, we're at 0.776. So you just subtract the difference, which is 0.12 or 12%. So I'm just going to go in here and reduce that by 12%. 8.88, and we go something like this. Okay, we had the 25 range, and we about so that's about 14%. So I'm gonna go into here quickly, and 0.86. We'll go up to the next cell, which is the 3000. So about here, I try to do it this way so that I get as little interpolation as possible. Where we can see 72. So we're gonna go into here. 72, you subtract that to about 17% difference. Let's try 84 just to keep it on the richer side. Alright, gonna go up to the next cell, which is about 3500. And we can see we have a difference of about 13% roughly. So again, and I'm just gonna do this as I go along across the entire pool, and then we'll see where we left off. At this point here, you can see the RPM dropped a bit. This is where the transmission is shifted from first to second gear. I could have kept it in first and just rode it all the way up, but okay, we'll see. This is just a demonstration to see how we end up. So I just skipped ahead to the second gear, trying to go for about 6,000 RPM, which is about here. Okay, and this is essentially what we got to. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go ahead and save this log, save it as something else. So this is the name. I'm just gonna add adjusted 1, save that on there. I'm gonna close this up. I'm gonna go ahead and open up Tuner Studio again. You don't need to open and close Tuner Studio, but again, as I mentioned, slow laptop. All right, so you can see my adjusted VE table. Again, I couldn't get into this spot and that spot. So we're just gonna do another log to look into here, and we're gonna see how close we are. All right, so I'm gonna start again. Save this one as 2.1. Let's just call it 4. Right, same process, second gear, and just gonna do the log. Alright, so we can go again. Again, so we can see our lambda target is about 2% off. Here we're about 2%, give or take 3%. Yeah, we did. It is right now we have 4,000 RPMs. Pretty much bang on. Yeah, we're a bit lean. Right, we're about 3%. I think we got up to 6,000. So we can see for the most part, the fuel ratios are pretty good. Generally about 1 or 2% off. It's not anything I would lose sleep over. And that's essentially how I go about doing wide open throttle tuning. So what I'll do for here is, how high did I go? I think I only got to like 6,200. So we can pretty much, okay, just before here. So we started going a bit rich in the top here. Let me tell us that in this little region here, we may need to pull something, definitely, because we have a big jump from here. FUL ratio, well, the V value, the 67 jump into 72. So we need to tackle that. I think we only got up to here, right? 6,000. So which tells us that basically what we did worked, and we generally within 2 or 3% of where we need to be. So I'm hoping the audio is good on this one. The last one was a bit jumpy. So we'll just basically continue the trend. I'm on a very, very tight road. So what I need to do is just get a bigger section of road. So I'll take it all the way up to red line, which is about 66, give or take. And for here, what I generally do is I will pretty much interpolate. So if this is starting off at 68, 70 might actually end up being about 69, 68 here. Axle enrichment was probably not up to par here. So what you may find happening is that may be reflected in the VE table, and then it may just show up as a lean fuel mix. So what I'm going to do is, this may probably just go back down, and you can pretty much just throw in some numbers there to make it up. So we can do something like maybe 66 here, interpolate, and this will pretty much give us the numbers that we need. And I'll pretty much just do that across the map, and that's essentially how we're going to end up doing wide open throttle tuning. So probably going to wrap this one up. This one is probably going to be really short based on the last one. The first one was an hour, the second one was 25 minutes. Hopefully this one is about 10-15 minutes long. I'm not sure when I'm going to release this. This car, the reason I actually went ahead and I'm trying to rush this one is because I'm trying to just get this video out. This car is supposed to be sold tomorrow, God willing. So if it's not sold, then we'll do some further tuning like axle enrichment and whatnot. But for the most part, we good. On here, what I would pretty much just go about doing is just dialing in the tune some more. FUL ratios and whatnot. If you're on the dyno, you can experiment, see what makes best power. Again, but I generally walk everyone through this process when I'm doing my remote tunes, because I believe knowledge is power. So I try to share as much as possible with everyone I am actually working for. So till next time, guys, stay safe. Hope this one was enjoyable. Go ahead and smash that like button. It helps. It helps with the content actually getting out there. So till next time, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.